is May 24th, 2023. Still what's going on today. Follow me, blah, 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 blah. Crazy people. I went to Walmart 62 between 12 and 1 when I used the restroom. And people walked by the restroom real loud. We know all those people told on them for what they did to her before. Okay? They're yelling stuff out in Walmart. Taping audio in every aisle. Walmart 62. Okay? Right outside the ladies' bathroom. Where December 9, 21, 4 p.m. at a Oakland apartment. Someone had told him that all the tapes before were them and not me, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes on it. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. Actually worked the case. There's only 4 or 5 volunteers can't find them. That they always knew the tapes before were them and not me, so they never said a word. Okay. My client on Shepler Church Road, her next door neighbor, White House, told her in March of 22 that retired Judge Pete made up everything on me and that everything was dropped in Photoshop before. She told the Campbell police and investigators. January 19, 22, Department of Disability. At 11 o'clock in the morning, they told them I was drugged and told to say it before. Okay? May 25th, 21, 6 p.m., Wendy's in Louisville. They were talking about the church people breaking in before drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff. By that Saturday or Sunday, by 3 to 6 p.m., my car is parked from the protected custody case. This one fat blonde girlfriend, she drove a blue car, came down, and screamed at the goons from Ravenna on Fairlawn Street in Louisville. Are you crazy? You can't enter a dark confession. Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. That was 21. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second closest offense. A lady and her little girls lived there. Ratted out Dave. A few days later, a cop with a clipboard and a badge showed up, and 4 or 5 neighbors told him I was drugged and told to say it before. In October of 21, there's this African American lady running around saying she was going to extort money out of the shower scene. In the other room, she showed up November 2nd or 3rd, 21, save a lot. Said I found out they made everything up on her. It was all them and not her. No one better say a word. Okay. March 2nd to the 3rd of 21, 8 to 10:30 at night, my car is blocked. They were talking with the neighbors. They put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Well, March 13, 21, they have fake FBI badges. They get in the back of Altman Hospital and lie to Dr. Alan and Tina's about the chip. Where on 12/21/18, I was stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator, foggy, hazy, dark, bright light, felt myself cry. Woke up 6 hours later in bed with a dent in my head. And another man's combs on the dresser. I have marks all over me. And my head's pounding. And I've been out for 6 hours. Dave's screaming at me. I didn't know what happened. Here, retired Judge Pete's son, Alex, had stabbed me in the neck and bashed me in the back of the skull. They beat me and raped me and left me for dead. And when he cleaned up, he left his coma on Dave's dresser. So to cover it up, they made up the thing of a chip. Had people walk by, had their phones ding for a big scan. They actually told Dr. Alan and Tina they got back at Altman Hospital March 13, 21 and told him the same lie with fake FBI badges. Okay. And I go to use the bathroom and that there's supposed to be a Steve and Eric stalking me. They call Altman Hospital, lie to the nurse and security, and they start calling me bad names. The security did, and I left. I reported them the next day. I go to Mercy Medical on March 13, 21 after I left Altman Hospital. Lady comes in, no man was ever to touch her. It's one of Will's promises. And the nurse comes in laughing. The only thing they had, John, was adjusting yourself. The guy said, that's sick. She said, no, she just simply wiped off some water with clothes on. That's all they had. They didn't have anything else. No wrongdoing. No wrongdoing. And then they said, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird. I'm like, my God, that never happened. If you just say I brush something off, that's fine. You say anything else, that's a lie. And then I'm like, well, then they said, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, you're weird. I'm like, that never happened. It made my stomach bleed. I'm like, you put my head on somebody else's body. It's clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. And then it's like, well, what? They're serial killers. They play with you. And it's like, well, what would you be doing? If you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, it looks like you're weird, but you're not. You'd be putting yeast infection cream on. Or is it you undressing and showering, washing up? Walk out. It's showering, isn't it? You're undressing out in the shower, you're washing. I go outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. And they're laughing. May 12th, 22, Bubba's Restaurant, 6-8 months, screaming at him. We told those boys, none of this is funny. We found a tape of them admitting a shower scene in the other room, May 26th, 22. My phone's tapped at noon, KOC. The shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. Okay. March 24th, 22, 1:30, my car's bugged from the protected Cassie case. Heavy-set, large man, white, with dark hair. About 3 apartment buildings for mine. Older white guys out there screaming at me. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know, I wish we wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. Last month, he's outside with his wife. He said, you know, I really do feel bad. I found out it was just her ex-husband and some guy named Pete on their own doing all that to her before. I wish I wouldn't have helped frame her. That guy really told me off before for it. February 2nd, 22. Burlington Coat Factory, a guy personally admits to drugging me and telling me to say it before. People ran in Save-A-Lot, other houses on 6th Street. The police already know I've been drugged and framed for over a year, and they were looking for who actually did it. They kept leaving us Steve and Eric's, as Steve's at Carbs, and that Eric at a lot of different places. Police departments were actually looking for him, okay? November 18, 22, they got Eric high and told him to go in Walmart 62 and confess. He comes in 2 to 6 p.m. by the hair salon, November 18, 22. 2 to 6 p.m. Walmart 62 by the hair salon. Screams out a full confession. They have tape and audio at every aisle. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it. My idea to say it. My idea to do it. For all these people turn on, they fell for it. Ha 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 ha. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. Okay? November 24th, 22, the nurse to the Lady Canton officer in Mercy Medical Emergency Room. We all heard that Eric make fun of us for falling for this. No one should say a word to her again. Lady officer replies to her, well, you know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. I found out no one's ever said anything bad about her before. It's actually that bad. Nobody had better ever be mean to her ever again. And they're talking about the case in there. Okay. March 23rd, 23, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 to 4, I'm in the hair salon of Walmart 62. 2 of the young investigators have been around me since 18. They came in. We told these people to stay out of this. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. Nobody's ever seen anything. And she's never heard anyone. They were the ones that were on me June 23rd, 21 to July 4th of 21 by the panel. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She's never heard anyone. And then the girls that were dating the drug dealers, oh my goodness, the boys had to trigger her to make her say those things. No one mentioned those tapes again. They were the ones in 18 that made fun of Dave when somebody pulled in a parking spot next to us and he freaked out and wanted my gun on my purse. And it was in a secret compartment, concealed carry. And I told him if you're scared of him, beat him with my purse. Okay? They've been around me since 18. See, they're undercover police officers. They went and talked to my family undercover as friends of friends at a party, or went to their work as an employee and just talk about family. They spoke highly of me. Nobody's ever seen anything, and I never heard anybody. Dave threatened to kill them all, and I let him go after me instead of killing my children. These people ought to be ashamed, but they don't have common sense to be ashamed. They're serial killers, extortionists, rapists, human traffickers. They're running the biggest scam in the world. See, where I actually called the hotline around September 23rd, 18th, the FBI hotline. Gave them about 80% of the shit. People threatening my life, attempts, people impersonating me, we'll have an agent calling you back. Then they had people, impersonating me. Told them all about it. And then they had kept me drugged up for 3 days so I couldn't call them back. Left a voicemail, and then somebody shows up at that church and says they're an agent, and Paul Paymer screams at Dave for even call that agent back. Yeah. And I tried to tell that agent on around September 27th, 18, that somebody had told on me. He called me a liar. And then I tried to tell him where that guy threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. Call me a liar again. Was there a camera above that bench where you're sitting when you heard his voice? I don't know. You know, they said on a police show, they ask you questions you don't know so they can get away with stuff and it's illegal. That was a Detroit Boys' kidnapper. He tried to kidnap me in front of Terry. Took Marlise's niece and killed Lori's family member and a bunch of other people, and he's a serial killer loose down here. He has cost people their lives. And he's like, you either say a liar or I'll put you in jail if you don't know if there's a camera above the bench. Just like, fine, whatever. Made me beg for my life, listed me an informant. Life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated dated against you again for working this case. I open an account with $5,000 a month. It'll start building today, and you have that money when you move out. Okay? Get $60,000 a year for being an informant, laying your life down to get them information. Okay? He said, and even when you tell, we'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. Okay? And you'll have that money to live on from now on. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad, and then threaten me if I told. After you told me, even when you tell. He was bullying me. They said he stole the money on the first day. And then I didn't believe he was real. So when I heard Dave threatening Dixie and the baby's life and had a list of people, I Googled the office. I found him at Stark County FBI Task Force. And they all, well, he's got a list. I'm working on it. He heard Dave. And then when I seen the guy down the road, he took off through the side woods. I called him. He's just like, well, she seen that guy? You tell those police up there to get a hold of it. We're busy. They were too busy, and I almost got shot in the head driving. I had stalkers showing up in Walmart. People are breaking in, stabbing with needles, lying they have sodium pentothal reports, where I had been waking up with bruises all summer long, throwing up, dizzy, headache, personal infection. Here they were drugging me, beating me, raping me before. Whose fault is it that agent didn't find out all this? His. And why didn't he find Dave's dirty cameras? Not Dave's dirty cameras, but Pete's dirty cameras. And that he was stalking me and David hired him. Whose fault is this? It's Will's, right? And that he didn't ask for the name of that church and find out who went up there and impersonated a federal officer. And whose fault is it he got the Detroit Boys, this kidnapper got away? Well, absolutely falls right at the FBI's feet. Everything that happened to me and everybody else around me. You want to talk about giving them a black eye? That agent gave that agency a black eye. That retired judge, because that agent was too busy to look into it. You know, if he was too busy to help me, you should have called the marshals. They would have arrested their asses. The first day. The right to privacy. The right of the people to be safe and secure within their own person, their places or homes, against any unreasonable search or seizure shall not be violated. Were they allowed in my home outside a protected light case with statements? No. Absolutely not. Can your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or wife hire a stalker because you won't die and they've tried 4 times? No. Can they, while you're out, have someone kick in your door of the wall and then make up an excuse for you not to tell the police? Just patch it? Set up button cameras stalking you? No. That's serial shit. Serial killing shit. Can they sell videos of you and her in bed? That's like trafficking videos. It's a federal crime. Watching you in the shower, go in the bathroom. Do you realize how mentally sick this is? It's like federal attraction shit. Let alone it's a new girlfriend's father doing it. Do you realize how psycho they are? Then all of a sudden you're waking up with giant bruises you can't explain. You're throwing up. You almost pass out in front of the neighbor. Have migraines. Hearts racing through your neck. And then you get a personal affection, you find out you've been being raped. Dave was making love to me all the time. He's probably showing off for the cameras. Because they were selling me on porn sites. Think it's funny? It's highly, highly illegal. I told you, those people in Ravenna are pieces of shit. There was another guy up there, had 7 victims. Only knew one. Took their pictures off Facebook, Instagram, photoshopped them, put them in videos. Sound familiar? Then tried to extort money. It's called sextortion. 12 years federal. And he didn't even drug them, beat them, or rape them. These people are looking at life. A retired judge in a human trafficking, drug trading scam. That agent better not have known about retired Judge Pete and what Dave and him were doing, because then he knew I was being human trafficked, beat, raped, drugged, and framed. And he did it to steal the Witness Protection Program money. Embezzlement of government funds. You cannot withhold or misdirect money. I never got it done. Yeah. So, yeah, he better not have known a damn thing. Then he knew it was a shower scene. He knew they were drugging me and telling me to say stuff, lying they had sodium pentothal reports. That's where they got Eric high and told him to go in and confess when he had nothing to do with it. Dave finally confessed. April 15, 16, 23 to our son Danny, where I've been trying to tell him some weird stalkers. The police have been looking for him. I hope they get him. This guy even got high and confessed. Danny finally calls his dad and asks him what's going on. I don't know why that guy confessed. He had nothing to do with it. He had hired some guy named Pete on his own, taping me unaware, and he was the only one doing stuff to me up there. Do you realize how mentally sick Dave is? Mentally sick Dave is? That he had tried to have me killed 4 times, followed and ran to attempt to break and knew where the security system was, attempted kidnapping, and then attempted carjacking. He laughed to Dixie, my daughter-in-law, that he knew it was happening and took off. And then we're only up there 6 days, hires a guy to kick in my door, start stalking me, his new girlfriend's father. And then all of a sudden started breaking in, and they had to be roofing my Diet Coke or my coffee creamer. Throwing up, sick, dizzy headaches, wondering where all these bruises are coming from. I'm seeing my Altman family physician for headaches, dizzy, throwing up, vomiting, heart racing, short of breath, and marks I couldn't explain, and a personal infection that wouldn't go away. But drugged, beaten, raped, it fits. But I didn't work out in my home. It was happening in my home. They were violating. It's a severe 4th Amendment violation. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. You can't hire someone to stalk your spouse in their home. They have a right to privacy. I have a friend that used to work on the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. He said it's a fraud scheme. Where they kicked in your door, they probably did set up on cameras. They can never use it against you. They did it in a home. He said they probably did Photoshop that shower scene. He said, and where you have bruises, you were throwing up, they probably did date rape, drug you, and tell you to say something stupid. They can never use it against you. They did it in a home. It's a fraud scheme. I was talking to Officer Reinhardt in Louisville. I was telling him about it. He crossed his arms, he giggled like a little girl. He said, I don't care what they say they got, I don't care what they say they did, until Will at the Canton FBI took your statement and agreed to protect you. They couldn't even be in your home. They would go to jail. It's illegal to look or listen. Okay? That's where they tried to frame the Portage County sheriffs were doing this. I went up to Miss Hall. What these people are saying they did is illegal. We had no knowledge of anybody being in your home or anybody else's home outside to protect their life case with statements. He said that would be illegal. I said, well, it's the 4th Amendment, Yes. Okay. Went to the Ravenna police, the chief of police, and said, I went to all my officers. Not one of them knew anything about this. Why? Because it was Dave's girlfriend's father doing it. That sick human trafficking serial rapist family, thinking they're funny running this big scam. Dave even told Danny, oh, Pete has it set up. You can't. And I'm like, Pete don't even have anything admissible. That's where it's called checkmate. You want to play cat and mouse with somebody? It's called checkmate. You made a big mistake. You didn't more home. I told people he wants to play cat and mouse with me. I told people that are like roaring lions that wait in the dark until they find out everyone involved, and then they pounce and arrest you. My brother-in-law used to be CIA. I was up in Hartville. They tried to tell my client's neighbors that they taped her before. They called the police on them. Police said no one had a right to tape her unaware before. Just like the Maslin police. Nothing they have is admissible. See, but I called FBI. That agent was rude. But he opened an informant program with money and diplomatic immunity for life. Next day, an older white officer with white hair showed up. And he walked into Walmart 62. I just got back from asking Dave about the threats on her life. I thought, what about that agent at the church? See, Dave even told Danny. There was was talking about that FBI agent being up at that church. He was asking everybody about the threats on her life. He even spoke to him personally. And said he was the only agent from the agency looking into it on his own. So where I tried to tell that agent, someone told me, Dave said he talked to him. More than likely it was retired Judge Pete pretending. But someone told on me and said they were FBI. There was an older white guy in a light gray suit up there walking around like this. And he was looking at those people like he was so pissed it was ridiculous before I walked off. On Sunday I was in Trinity Hospital. There was a guy in a light gray suit with white hair talking to the security guards. Those people had no right in her home. I've told them that before. I don't want anybody to say I worked to her. It's illegal to look and listen. It's called entrapment. The Department of Justice looks at a man's home as his castle. It's not to be entered into. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. There's nothing else. It automatically throws the case out. They can never look or listen. I had a friend that lives about 2.5 hours away where that agent opened a case. I told you, I didn't believe he was real. I called down there when Dave was threatening Dixie and the baby's life and had a list. She yells out, well, he's got a list. I'm working on it. And then when I seen that guy and he took off through the side woods, I said, well, if you seen that guy, you tell those police up there to get a hold of it. We're busy. He was too busy and arrogant to look into it. Hell was breaking loose up there. Well, the marshals picked it up 4 years later. When Auntie was on, I got a friend on the police department. It was about 2.5 hours away. He said, they're using that case that agent opened. They knew about the Texas group in your case. I said, oh, the Kingsmen, is that what they called themselves? He said there was a retired judge in Texas involved in this big human trafficking scam. Went down to question him and killed himself. There's another retired judge involved in this. And they're going to use that case that agent opened with you. And to get these people, these drug traders, human trafficking people out of this area. That was January 20th, 23, about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. February 14, 2023, they did an 800 people sweep. I had over 200 drug traders and human traffickers around. They're drug dealers. They brought them down here to run this biggest scam. They told everybody they were FBI. There's about 4 or 5 of them in Faith Family Church. Telling everybody they're FBI, working the case, selling the login. By November of 2018, they came out and said, Will found a new way of making money off the case. He's going to sell the login for $25 a pop. Then it went viral. I'd walk into places, hey, Karen this, hey, Karen that. It was horrifying. Everything that I was living through was public entertainment. selling police information. And that retired judge started telling everybody that he was Karen's Will, the FBI agent that was over it. He's just a retired judge in the human trafficking scam. They need arrested. I went in today. It is May 24th, 22. May 24th, 23, sorry. On May 24th, 23, Walmart 62, between noon and 1, I used the bathroom. Men walk by the bathroom real loud. We all know all those people told on him for everything they did to her before. I gotta upload this.